Okay. Okay, so... ugh, what a comedy of errors that turned out to be. Phones ringing and streams exploding and mute buttons being hit and me sneezing and good times. So yeah, so I have a little bit more to say about Hero Quest, so I'm just gonna start the stream again and maybe I'll patch these two videos together or something. Or I'll just leave them as separate videos. Who knows? So where were we at? Well, we were talking about what you get in the box. So here we go. Full 3D sculpts. You get 16 open doors, 5 closed doors. Okay, some tombs, some sorcerer's tables. I'm assuming these all match up with what you were getting in... I just want to make sure that I'm streaming here. Yeah. What you get up in the original Hero Quest. So it looks like it's just like a 1-for-1 reprint here. But obviously a modern 2020 version of it, not a 1990, 80s, whatever version of it. And that's the heroic tier. So now, so we have expansions. We have Keller's Keep from the Return of the Witch Lord. So these, so this is just reprints. So this is probably what they're doing, is they are reprinting everything that was the original Hero Quest, and this is probably what they have to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they can't rewrite the game. And there may be more speculation and further information on that coming, that they can't rewrite the game, that they have to publish Hero Quest as just a revised version of Hero Quest. And then if you get this super deluxe awesome power version, you get more of these guys. So I'm assuming this is what you got in the original Return of the Witch Lord box. So you basically got more skeletons and zombies and mummies and a couple of extra rooms, and you get some special doors, reinforced doors, iron doors, and then you get mentor and wizard cards, the Witch Lord, and then the Keller's Keep, which again this gets you more orcs and more fish people and more of the Pathfinder goblins and some doors and stuff, and that's the mythic tier. And then Warlock Hero by 1 point Shauna Nakasone. I don't know who she is, but cool. I guess if we fund Hasbro crowdfunding, you never thought that that Hasbro, the mighty Hasbro, would come begging for your money, and instead of just sinking their own money into this, makes you wonder how much actual faith they have in the product. You would think it's Hero Quest, right? But then again, it's not Monopoly. It's not Chutes and Ladders. It's Hero Quest. 2 extra goblins, and these are cool. There's a cool looking goblin. I guess, if you like Pathfinder style goblins with their big knife ears. And then what do we got? Guest designers. So I don't know who these people are, and I'm not going to really read their thing. Ooh, Snake Eyes. Suddenly I'm intrigued. Snake Eyes, yeah. My favorite G.I. Joe. But let's go all the way back up here and talk about what's important to me, which are the miniatures. So I'm going to take a look, and we will start with the heroes. So what do I think of the heroes? Well, I think that's a very nice Conan model. It's a Conan model. I have several miniatures that could be considered Conan models. I'm sure we all have a Conan model. The dwarf looks like a dwarf, and I think I said before, he looks very Warcraft. Same with the elf. The elf looks very Warcraft. The wizard, I like the only thing I like about it is that he keeps the same design aesthetic as the original Hero Quest wizard. They didn't make him into a Gandalf, right? Which they very well could have done with the wizard. They could have just made it Gandalf the Grey, which is what you would think your typical wizard would be. The wizard from Warhammer Quest was a Gandalf the Grey, so there you go. The opposite gender bonuses, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a really great idea because it allows people, again, something that the Bard said in his speculation thing. He talked about how the fact that they didn't have names was important to him, because it was your hero, and it was your hero going through the quest, and the story that you were telling was your hero's story, and that's really important. So I'm glad that they don't have names. I'm glad that they're just barbarian, dwarf, elf, wizard, and I'm glad that you have both male and female. of them, and I think that's fantastic. And I don't know who Sir Ragnar is, but I assume he's like an event card or something that happens, and that's cool. You get a model for him. So that's 76 miniatures. That's a lot of models for $100 US. So in Canada, we're probably looking at about $150, $200 for the super deluxe version. And then the monsters, the gargoyle. Well, the gargoyle doesn't look like a bloodthirster, so I don't care. He's a gargoyle. The dread sorcerer, the lich. He looks like a lich. Walks like a lich, talks like a lich. The dread warriors are clearly chaos warriors and a fairly basic design. Their shield looks kind of neat, but beyond that, I mean, the design aesthetic that they've gone for is like, let's make this as generic fantasy as possible. The skeletons with the scythe, I like that they kept the scythe as their weapon, because those silly Hero Quest skeletons with scythes would always appear everywhere. And it's an iconic look, right? He's got some armor on him and stuff. And the orcs, I think I've already gone into how the orcs look like modernized orcs, which I don't care for at all. And they look like they kind of were essentially told, you have to go out of your way to make these not look like Games Workshop orcs. So they went out of their way to make them look like World of Warcraft orcs. And the goblins, same sort of thing. I mean, there's lots of different ways you could have done goblins. I think those goblins could have used a smaller head, but it's clear that they wanted a certain aesthetic for them, and so they were probably told, you can't make them look like Games Workshop goblins, so we'll make them look like Pathfinder goblins. And the mummy, it's a mummy. The zombie, it's a zombie. The abomination, the fish people, I love. Of all the models, of all these new Hero Quest models, this is the one that stands out to me as something that I like to look at. It's got like a nasty little like piranha head on it, and he's got some like scaly armor, and he's got a little harpoon, so he's definitely nautical themed. It's a fish person, and that's an old joke among Warhammer players that, every time back in the old days say, well, I wonder what the new codex, what the new army book's going to be. And the joke was always it would be fish people, right? So guess what? We're getting fish people in Hero Quest. So we're getting fish people in Hero Quest before we get fish people in Warhammer. So how does that make you feel? And then the doors. The doors are cool. I mean, they're generic dungeon doors. I like the little motif on the capstone up there, and they look very generic fantasy. This sort of terrain, I mean, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or you're playing anything that's not Hero Quest, this terrain painted will fit in perfectly, will fit in really well with stuff. I would get this if I was doing like a generic... You know what I would get this terrain for? Not just any sort of dungeon crawl, but if I was a miniature gamer, I would get this terrain, if this terrain was available on its own, for like Frostgrave or something, right? Like just any sort of like dungeoneering thing. It's cool. Get 3 treasure chests. Treasure chests are cool. Thrones are cool. Fireplaces are cool. Rats and skulls are cool. I mean, that's probably the most Warhammery thing in Hero Quest, are rats and skulls. Okay, so that is the heroic tier, and then what we get? So we just go through here and we get more of the same. So essentially it's just a reprint, which I think a lot of people will be happy that it's just a reprint. If there is nothing in the game that mechanically has changed from the original Hero Quest, then the old school players will be happy. They may have tweaked a few things and put some modern mechanics on the things. Obviously, they're using a custom dice, but that could just be how they, instead of, being like, well, you got to roll 3+, well, no, you got to roll this, and, so as long as the odds, the randomization, the factor is all the same, then yeah, so that's Hero Quest. So sorry about the hiccup in the stream, but I've now turned my phone off, so if anyone does call me during the stream, and I will make sure that I double check that when I press my mute button, that when I come back, I double check to make sure that it's been unpressed. And so I'm not talking silently into nothing and having people yell at me in chat. I can't check the chat because I set this whole thing up really quick because I didn't actually have any way to share my screen in the stream until I finished my last stream. I hadn't set up that functionality because I didn't need to, because I actually had no intention of ever sharing my computer screen with the stream. And I guess this is why you get dual monitors, and I only have one monitor because I'm an effing noob, and I'm a filthy casual. So I guess I'm going to kill the stream there. Not kill it. I guess I'm going to end the stream, and I hope. I guess I could go quickly in and check. No, that's the wrong chat. I don't know. Do I even have my live stream thing open? So yeah, so there's no one watching this one. So maybe what I'll do is I'll try and paste these two together and upload them as one, or I'll just leave it as a part 2, and you can go watch part 1 and then watch part 2, and then we're all good. So this basically went live today, and they're already halfway there. So when you're watching this, I don't know, they'll probably be over their target of 1 million, but they're almost halfway there. They're at $400,000. So clearly people want Hero Quest. And that's it. So I'm going to cap it there. Hopefully this is all good and whatever. So yeah, you get to watch my stream as I end it, because I don't